Look at these things. Never in my life.
Stay in school. Don't go crabbing. If you go crabbing, you're an idiot.
It's Monday. I've been having problems with my pots getting dirty. My hot water heater is busted and I have a spare, but I have one day to get the boat completely fixed. I need to replace the burner, which is in the back here, with my spare, and then I gotta get this one working, but I also have to figure out the water pump situation, and I'm pretty sure that I need to put the new pump. I have like a wash down, no, like a live well pump, and I think that's gonna work better than the wash down pump. I think the wash down pump is too much and using too much power and screwing things up. So I need to get 3 days worth of things done in this one day, because this is the only day I'll have off for another 8 days. So if I don't get it done today, it's not getting done. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to pull it off in one day, because I have about 15 other things that need to be done today as well. So the goal for you today is to find all the crab pots with 8-part irons like this. And we're gonna pull the irons off of them. Basically just get a hold of these. These work nice. A lot of them have zip ties on them as well. Just put these in the back of the truck. We're just getting all of the irons off of them first. Go through and show you how to put them back on. First thing I need is a switch to hook up my new pump, or alligator clips, but a switch might be a little nicer. There's some stuff here. If I can't find something here, I'll either have to make a switch or go find one. Lots of various switches. Boy, these are interesting. There's got to be something in here that'll work. What the heck? I do like the vintage nature of these. Nuclear submarine. Ooh, dump. Be careful with that one. I need one that will stay on. Okay, these may be a little more what I'm looking for. Well, he's working on that. I have to get water to my burner, but I don't want to use that big pump. Like I said, I have a live well pump, which I think is supposed to be a little more continuous duty. And I'm gonna try to use that. Maybe it's not. I don't know. We're gonna find out. I gotta get this pump a power and a switch somehow, and then I have to get water piped from this pump under the floor, up under the gunnel, and right to here. It's not a crazy task, but it's certainly not a walk in the park. If we have time, we're gonna try to replace this burner as well. I gotta take some measurements, see if it's even gonna fit.
I got it. I'm on myself.
What parts of the red in my mouth?
Can we just unwind enough of the red to cut it off?
No, it's kind of all the way under there. But this is also sort of a bad plan because it's just a tangled mess.
We're gonna end up dropping all of it on my head, aren't we?
If you stay in there, dropping.
I got this part right.
You got
Hold
it?
How much do you need?
I don't know exactly yet. Don't cut it yet. Oh my God, what a flippin' mess. Oh wow, nice. Made the Frankenstein's monster, I guess. Maybe that's what he calls it. To put onto here to be able to run the new hose, and I just got to get this pump in there, get all the fittings on, and then figure out how to run a hose from there to there. I have quite a few fittings here. Ooh, my phone's dangerously close to going in the bilge right here. First step, get this head patched. I always say it, but I just want to remind you guys that a very important part of working on your boat is dropping things into the bilge. And if you're not doing it, you ain't no crabber. And if you're not using 17 different PVC fittings from the hardware store, you also ain't no crabber. I don't make the rules up, man. I don't make the rules up. Actually, I do. Luckily, this is below the water line, so it will prime itself. All right, this feller. I know this is not how this is supposed to go on. This is not how it's supposed to seal either. It's supposed to seal with that rubber gasket, but I'm thinking that if I put enough Teflon tape on it, no, not a Teflon tape, no, it might work. Here's hoping. Oh yeah, we got plastic to brass, to steel to brass. It's gonna work just fine. Don't really want to snap it. It would suck for everyone involved. Okay, then we got this piece, which I think is steel, so this is gonna be screwed. This is probably never gonna come apart. Doesn't matter because it works for now. Oh man. All right, more Teflon tape. We're back with purple Teflon tape. Probably clean these threads up. Put that at the top of the list of things that Luke doesn't usually say. Time is ticking away here. Really hope I can get this done before the end of the day, because there's not much of an option really. Oh yes. All right, one last thing. And we're also out of Teflon tape, so hopefully I don't screw this up. I am literally screwing it more sideways than up. Looks a little janky. Now is not the time to be deterred by things that look janky. Oh, jeez. Knocking stuff over here. Just gonna take the one end and run it backwards through the pump. So I don't have to estimate how much hose I actually need. I guess we'll feed it down through here. I'll try to reach down in the bilge and get covered in fiberglass and try to find it. My theory is if you just jam enough of it down there, you can reach down there and usually find something. We've got it. We've got it. Easier than I thought. It's stuck. Soap makes good lube for this kind of stuff because it washes off when it's done. You don't want to use like grease or oil to lube up a hose because it won't go away. Ouch. Oh, my shoulder. A little bit of a bum shoulder from doing stupid stuff crabbing, swinging crab pots up on the roof and whatever else in weird positions. They've stripped out the really high quality band clamp. Great. Never fear, I'm gonna rob some out of this repair kit, so when I need to repair something, I won't have the pieces that I actually need. Strip that one out. Yep, strip that one out too. Son of a biscuit-eating bulldog, as CJ would say. Maybe that's a blessing in disguise. These are very helpful. I have all the pieces for. All right, well, we have one that may work. A little more plumbing to do, and then some electrical. So we're gonna need a hammer. I got this little switch I'm gonna stick here, which is where my troll valve used to come through, but now we're gonna stick this switch in there and then put a fuse in between it and then run some wires, get some juice from the battery, see if it works. All right, we got some mighty fine work here, some good electrical work. Got a little inline fuse here, sort of. Negative, positive. Open up the valve. Good Lord. I'm gonna try to open up the valve. Okay, valve open. Pumps over there. We got switch. Ooh, hear it. Ooh, here's something happening. Here's something happening. Son of a gun, look at that. Uh-huh. That's what we need. Doesn't have pressure, but we don't need pressure. We just need to move water. That is perfect. Hell yeah. This valve open and this hose here. I want this other one so that we can shut this one and it'll just, or when we shut this, it'll just redirect the water overboard, probably into a tank that holds soft crabs or something like that. Switch on. Oh yeah, we need it open. There we go. All right, got water coming out. Hopefully it's moving enough though, that's the thing. Doesn't seem like a terrible amount of water, does it? Oof, I don't know if that's gonna be enough water. It's like doing nothing. What is going on? Does it not have enough pressure to move it? Come on. There's a major problem here. The problem is that it doesn't work at all, actually, because that little live well pump cannot move the water all the way through the coil here, because it's meant to basically move water, not pressurize water. I have 1 hour left to come up with a solution because I have a bunch of crap to do today I can't really get out of. I need to go crabbing tomorrow. This is very frustrating. That's a major bummer. I just spent the whole time I had today to work on this project on something that doesn't work at all. Back to the drawing board, I guess. I have another idea now, and it's really stupid. Where's all the stuff I need? Don't you go overboard. Nice. I just rolled a little piece, fitting right overboard. This is becoming a progressively stupid project. Ow! Knife is very sharp. You're not even the right size, you son of a gun. Spill water all down my pants is how it's a good start. It's a good way to cut yourself right there. Think. Use your freaking brain. What's one more stupid idea? Try. Shout out to the guy that brought me this Loctite stuff at the crab stand the other day. Properly prep the surface. Basically, when it comes to summertime crabbing, all you're trying to do is keep your crab pots clean. Because if you can't, you will fall so far behind that you will end up costing yourself ultimately a boatload of money. Because if your crab pots get dirty, you either have to power wash them on the boat, come up with a solution like cooking them off or bleaching them, or you have to bring your pots in, power wash them, and reset them. And when it gets really, really hot, like the weather that we had last week, all that does is crank that dial up underwater, and then your time that you can let crab pots sit goes like this. So if you could let them sit a 5-day or a 6-day, you got 2 days before they get dirty now. It's a slippery, slippery slope. And I am kind of falling behind here just because I have so much stuff going on and my burner went up. I'm in a race to either fix that, and I'm hoping that I'm not too far behind. I will know tomorrow when I go out and crab whether or not I made the deadline or not, but I have a bad feeling that I may not have made the deadline because crabs won't trap in a dirty pot. They just won't. You're not going to trap them like that. The other issue is the crabs fell off terribly. I mean, the crabbing is pretty poor. That does not help because part of the thing that keeps your crab pots clean is that the crabs are going in them. Crabs on their little legs have little scrubbers basically. It kind of looks like this little brush. And when crabs go in there, they walk around the crab pots and those little scrubbers on their feet basically will help keep your crab pots clean. So when it's really hot, if you have the crabs around and you can knock down all that slime and hair and sponge and everything that's growing on the crab pots and then get crabs to go in the crab pots, they will walk around and they'll help knock all that dead stuff off that you've killed. Problem is when the crabs fall off and the water gets hot, your crab pots get dirty and there's nothing to help them except for you. And then miraculously, it always seems like the time equipment starts to fail. This pitiful abomination of engineering, ready to test. Yes, it involves this here light switch hanging loosely above a bunch of golf cart batteries. So the main problem here is that little pump that I have can get the water up to here, but it doesn't have enough juice to push the water through the quilt. I'm gonna try to dump the water from there into this reservoir and then have a bilge pump run the water from the reservoir into the burner. I have no idea if it's gonna work. It's the hokiest, least efficient, one of the worst things I may have ever invented. Bilge pump in here. This is our feed hose from our original pump that doesn't work. Bilge pump in here, and that just goes right to here. And before you keyboard engineers get in there, that's an 1,100 gallon an hour. And this is a 1,000 gallon an hour. So we have 100 gallons an hour tolerance. And if it overflows out of the bucket, who cares? This is what it is. This pump on, where you're filling the bucket with water currently. All right, and once that gets some in there, we will flick on that bilge pump and we'll pray that it comes out of the freaking coil. Now we're gonna go flip our switch here. Come on, please. Please, please, please go. Come on, you can do it. Come on. Come on. No, this is not working. That, my friends, is not near enough water. That will instantaneously turn to steam. Total, epic, absolute failure. That's a quarter of the water we need. Look, put this there, turn it on, it's just gonna turn to steam. And look, this is about to overflow and dump all over the freaking place. Yep, there it goes. Look at this abomination. So dumb. Whole day wasted right here. So freaking stupid, man. Oh, yeah, there we go. Yep, it's just a bomb now. Just turning it into a bomb. It's perfect. That didn't work. This is a terrible, terrible mistake. Total waste of time. I gotta go crabbing in a matter of hours. Now don't even know what I'm gonna do. I'm so screwed. I'm over the positive attitude here. I've done wasted all the time and money and whatever else today. It's about 8:30. Back, level head, disaster. Many failed projects from today. We have to go crabbing in a certain amount of hours, less than 12 hours. We have got a new water pump last minute. Actually, it's not the right pump. It's a smaller pump, which means now I have to convert all of the fittings back from the larger fittings to the smaller fittings. And I guess we're just gonna install it. It is what it is. It's gonna take a little bit longer because I have to switch these fittings over, but nothing to do but just do it now. It's all hooked up again. Smaller pump, got a hard wire to the battery, so we're just eliminating the possible bad connection altogether. It's got a float switch, so it won't overpressurize. It'll build a pressure. Not great forever, but just to try it, to eliminate one more thing. I redid all these fittings to make sure, took them all apart, put new Teflon on and make sure they're not leaking as far as I can tell. Open the valve. Seems to be running. It appears to be pumping a fair amount of water. Let's see if the pressure switch works. It does. Beautiful. Moment of truth. Burner's lit. It looks like enough water. I'm just gonna let it run the whole time while I'm cleaning up and see if it works. Please don't turn to steam. All right, it's been running for a little while. It seems to be working properly. We may have solved the problem for now, although I don't want to say that too confidently because I know better than that. I gotta go home, I gotta load bait, I gotta go out and get some diesel fuel because I forgot to do that. A little bit of work to do. Hoping to be home before 10 today. Si's got another interesting project. I think this is the very bottom of a canoe that was a piece of junk. He's turning it into a floating surfboard of sorts with a motor from Temu. When it gets super, super hot out, we have a lot of dead loss, which just means crabs that didn't make it, mostly because of the heat. But man, oh, that sucks. It's always the nice crabs. The nicer, the better, the heavier, the older the crab, the less well they live in heat. Heat is hard on everything around here. Equipment, people, crabs, everything. I is low today. Look at that. So we're riding out. I look over. There's raccoon prints all over the windshield of the boat.
I was landing.
Yeah, it was either a raccoon or Landon got into it last night. That's no good. The benefit of the day is that it's not near as hot as it was last week. It's actually quite pleasant now. It's 63 right now. Super bizarre, super low tide. Not sure how or why it's cooler, but I don't really care. I'm just gonna roll with it. But I am concerned to see the crab pots and see how dirty they are. We're gonna try to fish through everything today and tomorrow. And then Thursday, Friday, do a little damage control after to kind of assess and determine that the burner is going to continue to work. So, man. Look at that. It's usually like 4 or 5 feet here. Tide's skinny. You see all those brown rocks that are usually underwater over there. This may make getting to some of these pots a little interesting because usually I have a lot more water where I'm going. Even my little boat. Will find the bottom every once in a while. Boy, that is pretty though. The sun's coming up to bake us all day. Turning on the oven. Office don't get no better than that though. I'll tell you what. We'll find a prettier office. Tide's incoming right now, so we're gonna start with the gear in a little deeper water. Hopefully by the time we get done with the water where we gotta go. People give me a hard time and wonder why I wear these like these mid-calves, and always have. My uniform is like mid-calves and ankle boots. It looks silly, but the reason is because on the boat, you roll these down, and if you don't wear something like this, you'll chafe your leg up all real bad. That's why I'm styling latest crabber fashion right now. That's right. No women or crabs are safe from this, buddy. All this hair stuff, this is what we're trying to keep from growing on the crab pots. This is the line. You can see. That grows in no time. I do this about every time that we haul the pots. Growing like crazy. That water gets hot, that stuff will grow an inch a day. That's what we're trying to kill with the hot water and everything. Won't go in the pot. You can see on this pot, it looks clean, but it's actually super, super dirty. It doesn't have hair on it yet, but that brown slimy junk is the first step to the hair. So that's like the first stage, and if you let that pot sit, in 2 days you come back and it would have an inch of hair on it. So keep up with them and try to kill it even before this stage, but there's not much we can do about it. Hopefully the rest of the rig isn't worse. Stuff's getting so bad it's even growing on the crabs and killing them. Brown stuff is actually the hair, we call it hair, but it's actually a type of coral. But it grows real bad when the water gets hot. It'll also grow real bad when we get a lot of rain. We get all that runoff from everywhere, all the fertilizer on land. When it rains, it runs off into the water and does the same thing for all the stuff growing in the water. Supercharges the growth on all the junk. See this bright yellow pot?
was a bright yellow pot 4 days ago. And usually 4 days is no problem, but now thing is just completely disgusting dirty, and this isn't even a really dirty one. There's plenty of other ones that are just totally haired up. Hair all up on the top. Ugh, what a mess. Looks like a lot of work. Looks like an expensive problem to fix. As you can see, the mud from the hair gets on everything. I can't see much. Look at these completely haired over, dirty, empty pots that were perfectly clean 4 days ago. That is insane. Sometimes the conditions are just perfectly wrong, especially when there's not a lot of crabs around. These things just blow up. My pots literally have not been this dirty in years. I've never seen it this bad. Missing a hawk on the one end, and wasn't one of my new ones, it was one of my old ones, but this is what happens. They get hit, knocks the float off, and then you're just left with a weight, piece of pipe, and a clip. Well, I actually haven't had one of the new ones get hit. I've had a couple of them go missing from people unclipping them, but one just got run over. Gonna replace it with another one. First day just keeps getting better, huh? Hose blew apart. Nice. And not all stainless steel is created equal. That stainless corroded away and the head popped off of this and the hose blew apart. We were hauling and pulled up about 3 pots and the line was cut. That looked like a pretty clean cut. One of those days, that's for sure. No crabs, dirty pots, and everything seems to be falling apart. Now we gotta put all this line into this 5-gallon bucket because we don't have another barrel on the boat. Go to the other end of the line, fish it, and tie and go the other way. Pick it up, splice the line together, and then transfer the line in the bucket back into the barrel on top of the line that we just pulled. Very Monday, Tuesday. At the other end. Knot I use to tie line to line. It's just a square knot. You just go over like that, and then under. And basically, you're just making 2 loops like that. The harder you pull, the harder they tighten down and bite on each other. Transfer this line from here into this barrel. Stack the loops as they come up. I don't know how that got cut. I haven't really seen any other guys crabbing around this area except for CJ, and I doubt he would have cut me. But usually, you lay over somebody and they cut you and don't tie you back. That's basically like the biggest FU you could do to somebody because it's a pain. Is cutting them and not tying them. It happens a lot when guys are crabbing tight. There's a line here and another guy lays a line over top, and then the original guy goes to haul his line up. The other line's gonna be on top of it. So what you can do is pull a big loop of slack in the boat and flip your whole barrel with all the line over top or underneath and undo it, which is a courteous thing to do. But a lot of guys will cut the line, put it underneath and retie it, which is okay too. But basically the biggest screw you can give somebody is just cutting them and not tying it back. I doubt somebody did that, but you never know. Usually in my experience, when guys cut you and don't tie you back, they're cowards. It is because they're leaving the area. So when they pick up their stuff, they'll cut you and then leave so that you can't do anything about it. It happens. It's the name of the game. Got a bunch of flat, smashed pots. And it's no wonder. There's about 2 foot of water and there's a big ass barge coming across. Usually if a boat hits them, they have a V in the top. That looks like a barge smashed it. Well, this is line number 2, cut in half. Ridiculous. You gotta go do this again. So remember, eye for an eye. Everybody's got a sharp knife. I got one right here. This is like the second one in this row that's completely smashed flat and the line is cut. And I guarantee barges that draw 3 foot of water coming across in 3.5 foot of water. I just saw them run aground right exactly where we're at. It's fresh smashed right there. This has become the average pot. A completely dirty, empty pot. It's one thing to pull empty pots, it's another thing to pull empty dirty ones. A bunch of work right there. We didn't barely catch any crabs, but look at the size of that thing. That is the biggest crab we've caught all year, that's for sure. And he's got a giant claw on him. I don't know how long he is, how big he is point to point, but he's probably close to 9. I'd say he's probably 8.5, 8 3/4. That's a monster. About 8.5. Point to point. What's the biggest crab you guys have ever caught? I know the comments are going to be full of people telling me this is a little tiny crab and they go out and all they catch is straight 10-inch crabs that don't exist. Big one for us. Last row of the day, we were bringing home with us and we're going to power wash it on land, but we also ran out of bait. I even brought an extra box of bait today, but there was like 3 boxes of bait that were bait on the top and ice chips on the bottom. I brought an extra box or a box short. 3 of them were just half ice. Everything today, I'm telling you, sucks. Screw today. Should have went to college. Not much silver lining there whatsoever. We fished 250 pots that were almost stone empty, every one of them, and completely dirty. I don't even know how I'm gonna fix this problem. And the pump that I put in last night is working, but now the burner stopped working. It's like working, but it's only getting mildly warm. So I mean, it just did nothing. We literally just, all we did was make the problem worse today. I gotta fix it tonight, I guess. I'm gonna have to replace this burner, which I got the pumps working, and then the burner went up. It's gonna be another late one. Stay in school. Don't go crabbing. If you go crabbing, you're an idiot. So the whole industry seems to be a little in peril right now. There's a lot of guys, pretty bay-wide, that things aren't going real well crabbing-wise. I've power washed thousands and thousands and thousands of crab pots before I learned how to keep them clean without having to power wash. And now here I am again, power washing. Actually, they're power washing. I'm still hopeful that I can swap out the really, really nasty ones, power wash those, and then hopefully clean up the majority of the rig by fixing my machine here. I gotta get this machine over there, but this machine has a bunch of stuff on it that one doesn't, and I don't know how it works. Sensors and switches and all that stuff. So I'm gonna try to bypass all of that or figure out how it works. Wish me luck. So I know this is a flow switch, and I'm pretty sure I can just hot wire that, but I don't know what this does. So I'm wondering if maybe I can just also hot wire that. That, I'm probably gonna get it in here and totally forget how it went together and screw myself once again, so. All right, we're getting closer. I have the thing trimmed to size, only cut myself a couple times trying to switch over the fuel filters, although I wish I could. I like this one so much more, but I don't think I have the room for it, unfortunately. Little magic, boom, whatever. We got a new, well, brand used burner. Lord willing, it works. Oh God, I hope it does. We're back. We gotta wrap this up. So we gotta go crabbing once again in a couple hours. This is deja vu from last night. And I forgot to get freaking fuel again. See, it's how I know I'm doing too much stuff, because I'm really flopping. I'm really starting to fall short on the important things. I'm spread too thin. So the machine's here. I gotta get the exhaust system hooked back up. That's probably gonna be last. I'm gonna put a couple bolts in the thing, hold it down, and run the electric and run the fuel lines. Now I'm just gonna buckle down and get this done. It's not gonna be, just imagine how I took it apart just in reverse with a slightly shinier thing. See the water? Okay, great. That leaks terribly. Doing well so far. We do have water. Now we gotta bleed the burner here. Basically, this thing is like, it's just got a diesel injector. So like a truck, if you run it dry, you're gonna have to bleed it out. Appears to be working. It's quieter than the other one. It looks hot. It looks hotter than the other stuff. Spraying a little better. We may be in business. We may have solved the problem or a lot of it. We have a thermometer that works. So we're just gonna assume it's hotter. It's at least working. Calling that a win. And we're gonna find out how screwed we really are tomorrow. Deja vu. So my system worked awesome for about 2 hours. And then the pump locked up. The pump has 3 hours on it. I do not understand. I replaced the entire burner. I replaced the pump twice. I redid every seal, made sure everything was free. There's no blockages. Resealed every fitting with new Teflon. I've been using the same setup for like 5 years and it's been fine. And now I can't get it to work for a full day. I'm so angry. I'm literally about to flip out. So I am so far behind. These pots are wrecked. I mean, wrecked. I have not had them this bad ever. We can't clean them. I mean, we're just gonna pick them up, load the boat, take them in, and power wash them. It's the least efficient, terrible, worst setup ever, but I don't know what else to do. This is costing thousands of dollars. Pots aren't catching because they're dirty, and every day without crabs, they get twice as dirty, and I can't even get through a full freaking day to get them clean. It is infuriating. We loaded the boat up, the burner's broken. We're gonna take these in. I called in another guy to come help. He's already at the marina. We're gonna unload these. He's gonna start power washing them. We're gonna load up another row or two that we have that's already clean. We're gonna come out, set those, pick up another 3, 4 rows, whatever we can do, bring them in, and then be done. And then hopefully tomorrow we'll have a few to bring out, set, go in. Maybe we can get through a whole day's work tomorrow. Try to get a couple more guys together to just be at the marina power washing crab pots all day. Make up some time here.
Where's Mike Rowe at? It's a dirty job right now.
Always a dirty job. At least we got a fan. We're back at the dock. We got the truck loaded. I'm gonna go run this back. I got guys working on crab pots. I got 2 guys cleaning up the boat. We're not gonna be able to get back out again today. We're just gonna try to get these pots clean, get everything ready in the morning so we can just have the boat loaded, head out, set pots, grab some more, come back in, have 2 guys here power washing, and hopefully get through as many as we possibly can. Just hire an army and get it done. My theory is we're already hemorrhaging money. What's a little bit more just to fix the problem.
I cannot seem to get a raw water pump to work on my boat for any amount of time. They always get killed, but now they're lasting no time at all. It's just a bad system. It's always causing alternator issues. It's always ruining batteries because we basically have to run a 12-volt water pump all day and everything else. So really what I need is a way to pump water without using electricity. And I know that sounds crazy, but my engine has a raw water discharge. It uses raw water around it from the bay, pumps it through a heat exchanger, and then pumps it overboard. So it's constantly moving water, and that would be an awesome source of water, but I can't rob water off of the system before it runs through the engine because I'll have overheating problems, and I don't want to cause back pressure on the system. But I think there's still something there. I think there's something there I could use. I think there's a way to use the mechanical water pump that's already pumping. But I need to be able to shut the water for the burner on and off without restricting the water going through the engine. When you throttle up, it pumps more water because it spins the belt. I'm thinking there's maybe something I could build that may be able to fix this. When I was down in Florida using that little center console, the black tip, I noticed that the live well has a pretty interesting, really simple mechanical system that pumps water while you're running, but not when you're stopped. It's basically just a little tube that sticks down right at the very bottom, cut at an angle, and then the pressure of you moving through the water scoops up water, dumps it into the tank. Basically regulates its own pressure, and if you shut it off, it's no big deal, and if you let it run, it's no big deal. So I'm thinking that there's a similar concept that I could maybe do with my raw water pump. See, the thing with crabbing, really with owning your own business, is that you can't just go to bed and start again tomorrow, try again tomorrow. You have to solve the problem. So like right now, we cannot continue to work until I come up with a solution to this issue. There's no book, there's no nothing that you can like look up or Google to solve the problem. You have to use what you have and the knowledge of your situation and every disadvantage that you have and try to use it to your advantage. This whole situation is sort of a prime example to myself that I am failing in a lot of ways because I used to be completely on top of all this stuff. I would never, ever in a million years let something like this happen. But between crabbing full-time, making content full-time, and selling crabs full-time, I'm one man with 3 full-time jobs and very little help between them. I'm trying my best to do it all, and I just can't. And I'm starting to really fall short in a lot of ways, and this is just a prime example of how I'm falling short and really ultimately kind of failing at my job. I got another guy down here because we have this other power washer, and I was gonna run them both, but we only have one freaking hose and wand, I guess. Close enough. Today continues to fall apart. I have a broken boat, so now I have 4 guys, 2 guys standing around, 2 power washers, but only 1 hose. So now I'm running out again to try to get this stupid power washer situation cleared up. All right, 2 power washers going, check. It's so hot that we gotta keep dinner in the fridge now. Right, kitty cat?
He doesn't want to come out.
No, but for real, every time we open the fridge, the cat beelines to go sit in it. This is not animal abuse. It's just hotter than freaking sin out here. And the cat loves the refrigerator. Every time we crack it open, the cat tries to run in the fridge. I don't blame him though. I wish I'd sit in the fridge. That's what we should name the cat, dinner. So after much running around like a crazy person, frustration, ideas, trial, error, lots of error, my pump started working again. I guess it got too hot and shut off the first time. We have a backup system if we need it. I think I figured out the key is to not put too much load on that pump. So I have a Y splitter here where I can tee off some of the water, and I can actually get the water hotter through this thing, tease some of it off so the pump isn't under as much load. And I think I found a happy medium. We're gonna try it tomorrow because we don't really have any other option. We're probably also gonna bring some gear in and power wash it, which the guys were hating life. I'm hoping that they show up tomorrow. I have a strong feeling that maybe they won't, but we'll see. Feels good to be home, you know, when it's still light outside. I'm hoping that I didn't make a mistake, but my track record's not been great lately. I don't really have a plan for today. And the problems like this, you can't just write a check and get yourself out of it. You have to sweat your way out of this. Raccoons got in my cabin again. Look at these things. Never in my life. They're like doubling in size by the day. You barely get them over the rail. That is insane. So basically the strategy is to swap out the really bad ones with clean ones from the roof, hand them all up at the end of the row, do it again. The problem with my little boat, we can only fit so many extra pots on the roof, and the other issue is that when they're haired up like that, they're like 3 times as heavy as a regular crab pot. I can usually put 75, I can put like 25 on here because of weight. I already got to plug the scupper holes and all that kind of stuff, and it's so cramped up because I got this little boat. And this boat, it's a big little boat. It's got the same square footage as a lot of boats that are bigger, but it's just not a lot of boat, if you know what I mean. Like, it's better than a skiff, but it's not as good as like a big work boat. But it has a lot of advantages. Like, I can go in skinny water. I can do a lot of things big boats can't, that only skiffs could on a big boat. But like stuff like this is the disadvantage, because you can only put so much stuff on the boat. But we're just taking our time today to stay sane, stay safe, not throw anybody's shoulders out, trying to move these big heavy pots around, trying to keep them clean. I think this is kind of a result of a combination of things. We had a lot of south wind. It blew south for like a week, and it was really hot. Those things tend to make the water quality go down because the water can't flush itself out because the south wind is pushing it up the bay. That combined with the hot weather we've had made the water here really hot, and that will spike the growth and all the stuff. So usually if I were to see a pot get that dirty, I'd be freaking out. They don't never get even that dirty. So see them like that, like that. No good. Did you just have to come see the disaster for yourself?
Is the cooker working?
Yeah, the cooker's working. It's working really nice right now. These may be past the point of cooking, but we're gonna try. Nothing else we can do, really. One of the other bummers about having to pick up gear is that you'll lose your spot and somebody will come put gear where your gear was. There's been spots I've been sitting on all year that I don't want to get off of, but the pots are so wrecked that I gotta get off of them sometimes. And somebody's gonna move in. But when I look at a chart, I don't see a chart. It's a chessboard. You're basically playing offense, defense. You're trying to be where the crabs are at, where they want to be, and where they're gonna be, is what I say. Yeah, you see that boat with the blinking light on it? Doesn't that look like a red flashing light on that boat? I don't see blue lights on it. Hopefully we're fine.
There was a bridge jumper last night.
Oh yeah, I saw that. Yeah, somebody jumped off the Bay Bridge. I saw it was like 2:30 in the morning. There was like an empty car on the Bay Bridge. So.
They found a person walking on the highway.
Oh, they did? There's search and rescue for the guy that jumped off the bridge last night. Look at these lines. Terrible. To get the line off or the crap off the line, just put one of these clips on there and drag it through the winder. Toadfish. Yeah, they do. This thing is called, we call them toadfish, but or oyster cracker, and that thing is all jaw right there. They got a nasty bite. You do not want to get bit by one of these things. They will crunch your finger. I mean, because they can literally take an oyster and break it with their mouth. It looks like a tadpole. It's a pretty cool looking little fish. I really like them. I think they're neat. They're the same color as the bottom. They camouflage really well, and it looks like a tadpole. Not much to them. I don't know if you can eat them. Drop a comment if you can eat them. It kind of looks like a cross between a sculpin and a monkfish. Ooh. They're durable. They also are poisonous, so when they have poisonous spine, they stick you. I don't think it'll kill you, but I don't think it'll feel nice. My knife and my winder is going out too, so the line keeps
crabs hopping out of the chute. Which isn't a major problem, but it is supremely annoying. Gotta stop every 3 seconds and put the line up. When you're working on hard bottom, sandy bottom, or your lines get really nasty and dirty, it'll wear all the winder pieces out really fast. It used to be easy to get winder parts. You just go to Miller's Island Crab Pot Supply right across the Key Bridge, but now there's no Key Bridge. And now it takes like an hour to get there. The other issue with the crab pots being this dirty is that even if you were to fish them and put them back, a lot of them aren't going to land straight, and nothing's going to go in them. These things are like 40, 50 pounds. The other problem with them being dirty is that crab pots are pretty delicate, and when they get that heavy, the weight of themselves will bend the pot all up, and then they won't catch. Now the line's spitting out on the ground.
If there's anybody from the EPA watching this, I just want you to know that I spill 10 times more gas with these stupid nozzles that don't work at all. If I was running for president, my campaign would just be get rid of these things. Probably win over half of America. McFadden, kill it. 2025. Kill it, McFadden. Yeah, I want nothing to do with that job.
Whew. Boat is a mess. Nasty, nasty. There's a little bit of cleaning here.
Done about 2 grueling days of bringing pots in and power washing them. A little over 1/10 of the crab pots done. Sounds crazy, but there is quite a lot of crab pots here. And I'm hoping that we can get that burner working and get ahead of it without having to do this 10 more times, because I'm not sure if they're gonna make it. I'm not sure if we're all gonna make it through doing this 10 more times. And drop a comment if you guys wanna see a boat tour. I don't remember if I've really done them in the past. Maybe, I'm not even sure, but she's got some battle scars. But man, hey, every working boat's got some battle scars. They're not supposed to look perfect. I'm suspicious of any crabber with a clean boat. If your crab boat's too clean, you ain't no crabber, that is for sure. But she ain't made to be pretty. She ain't made to go fast. She's made to go out, catch a bunch of crabs. And that's what she does. Maybe wondering like, hey, doesn't power washing them blow all the paint off? Yeah, it does. I'm not real happy about it. I wish it didn't. Today got here and it's blowing. I mean, blowing. I checked the weather a couple days ago, but I just was so hectic yesterday, I forgot to check it last night. So we're gonna go out and see how it looks, and if we can do anything, we're just gonna pull some gear in, put it on the boat, get it here, and power wash it. I have a feeling that it's gonna be too rough even to do that. The guys may get a real short paid day, basically PTO here on the crab boats when it's blowing too bad to go. Shout out to the neighbors flying the great white blue, giving me a good wind gauge. Looking out. Good people over there. Fish swimming across the windshield. Oddly enough, it's not like super rough, but we're getting soaked. It's a little rough, actually. I take that back. It's a little rough. We're just heading into it right now. Oh, Lord. Lost a stack of crates, crab crates off the boat. Oh, Lord. Where are they? Are there more over there?
Yeah, over there.
A rescue mission now. There goes CJ. He ain't scared. Oh, Lord. Oh, man. One of the benefits about my boat that's better than CJ's is that it's less buoyant, which also causes me a lot of problems, but it's also way better in rough water than CJ's boat. Well, in a beam sea, the bow is really short, so it's no good in a head-on, but like if we were
We're in a BMC right now. If we were in CJ's boat, we'd be flying all over, crap flying everywhere, because his boat's really light and plywood. A lot of benefits that mine doesn't have, but when it comes to the BMC, that's where she shines. I'm trying to keep the bow up now, because the problem is when I slow down, the bow of my boat's real low. It'll get stuck up underneath these waves a little bit. It'll be rolling up over the bow, which is not great. Acts like a lip on a Rapala here. Man, there's people crabbing everywhere in the creek today. Every corner of the creek there's somebody wreck crabbing. Well, the ass kicking continues this week. Now with being another day behind, we're literally gonna probably have to pull in most of the rig and power wash it and start over. By the time I get back to them next week, the pots that I've been swapping out that were clean are now gonna be just as dirty as the other ones. This is a real mess. This is what happens. My cooker was down for 3 days. That's all it took, was being 3 days. People are like, why can't you just take a couple days off in the summer? This is why. I didn't take days off. My cooker broke, but it's the same as taking 3 days off, essentially. Creates 2 weeks of work and thousands of dollars lost. We just gotta roll with it now. Can't change anything about it. We just gotta put our heads down, figure it out, get it done. Cannot seem to get ahead here. It's been a struggle of a week. And since we're probably gonna have to pull in most of the rig, I need more room at the marina to put pots because we were running out of space. So I'm going out to pick up my big crab pot trailer right now. Oh, it has a truck cap on it. Crap. Well, I guess I'm going down to get a truck cap off of my big trailer, and then I'm gonna bring that down. We're gonna load it up, bring it back to my house to make a little more room down here at the marina so we can pull more pots in. Oh, what a mess. And then I guess it's gonna turn into a maintenance day, which is fine with me because everything needs it. The boat needs it, the trucks need it, a bunch of stuff needs it. Snowball effect. When one thing goes down, when one domino falls, so do the rest. When it gets rough like this, I don't like to roll the dice. We used to say if it's blowing, we're going, but then I had some experiences where I almost died. Not almost died, but came close to sinking the boat, so now I'm a lot more cautious. Glad I have this push bar on my truck. Exactly why I left it on here. Look at that. Let's see how far it goes, I guess. Perfect. To add another layer of complication to the day, I ordered in a whole nother pallet of bait. You know, I thought I was gonna go, was not able to go, so now I don't have enough freezer space to store all the bait that I didn't use today, plus the pallet of bait that I'm getting. So the guys are gonna have to go pick up the pallet of bait, and then I'm gonna have them probably just surprise CJ with whatever bait I have left and put it in his freezer. So I hope he appreciates it. That's how the tables have turned. I used to show up and get bait from his house. Now I'm showing up to put bait at his house. It should work out all right. It should actually work out for him and for me. I'll just sell him the bait for whatever I have in it so he can just use it. And I'll have enough room and I'll just get another one next week. Or that's how it's supposed to work on paper, at least. This bad situation is giving me a minute to catch up on a little bit of maintenance, like changing out the fuel filter. Maybe even I'll do an oil change today. But this filter is pretty much okay, but I'd rather be safe than sorry. There's still a little bit of junk in there. Well, I sent the guys to go pick up bait, and they got there, and the bait never got put on the truck to get shipped. So that was also a little bit of a fail. So we're here running some crabs for tomorrow morning. See you there, 7333 East Furnace Branch Road in Glen Burnie, 11 to 3. Big pretty crabs. Giants right there, monsters. Crabs running in here. Crabs everywhere. Saturday morning, and I got AJ and Landon out trying to redeem the bait situation this morning. I got Cam, my sister Kaya, new guy Owen are out here working, calling some crabs, running some crabs for the day. Yep. Ember, you're gonna get bit by a crab?
Yes. No. Hey, this is important for us.
Eat the crab, Ember.
Eating crab legs.
You can eat the crab legs. I've been overstaffing a lot this year, hiring a ton of people to do a lot of stuff. I would always do it myself, but I would never hire somebody else to do it. But the business is just in a spot where it's not really possible to just do it by myself anymore. And I'm not gonna lie to you, that is a scary thing because I've always just counted on myself. And so then when you count on other people, it's a little nerve-wracking, to me at least, coming from a guy that has always done everything himself. And I know I've been overstaffing. I'm looking at it as an investment in the people. Not only the business, but also the people that work for the business. And I would rather overinvest in kind of less people than underinvest in an absolute ton of people. I'm not hiring 30 people and having them just all do one little thing. I'm hiring 8 people. I'm paying for them to be there even when they might not always need to be there, just to try to get them time behind the wheel, essentially, if that makes sense. My sister and Owen, you know, they don't necessarily need to be there this morning. Cam could run those crabs, but I want Owen and Kaya to be able to run crabs, and I want them to do it well, and I want them to get practice, and I want them to get the feel for it. I'm kind of having them there with Cam, who knows how to do it, and Cam learned to do it from doing the same thing with me. Now he's in a position where I can now have other people come and help him, and he can do the same thing for them as they did for me. I don't know if that's how you're supposed to do it. I've never done any of this before, but that's what I'm trying to do. Because as much as I don't want to believe it, reality of the situation is I can't really do this by myself anymore, and I need people that I can depend on, and I need them to do well even when I'm not there and looking over their shoulder and everything. And the other thing is, like, when you're at the crab stand and things are getting crazy and there's a rush or whatever, that's not when you want to be training people necessarily. You want them learning in the driveway. You know, they can learn to crawl in the driveway, and they can learn to walk and run at the crab stand. Also, it's great that I can have, you know, my sister and my mom that come and help me pretty much every weekend. It's awesome. Spread the love. It's a family business, family affair now. Hopefully we can move some crabs this weekend. The weather is a little up in the air for today, though. One of the risks that you run with selling crabs on the roadside is that I work all week to catch the crabs, and then I have 2 days to basically sell all the crabs right now. If it rains on the weekends, then I'm not likely to sell all the crabs. Then you've worked a whole week to basically sell nothing. It's a huge roll of the dice, and I'm trying to find other outlets. One of those things is that you can order these crabs shipped anywhere in the US. I'll put the link in the description for you. That's a huge help to me as well, because that helps me move crabs not only early in the week, but also crabs that I may have left on Sunday that I didn't get sold on Saturday or Sunday morning. Those crabs are still alive and perfectly good. Just helps the crabs not go to waste, because those crabs can then be steamed and then shipped out to you guys anywhere in the country, and they're my actual crabs, so it's pretty cool. Come down, check the soft crab tank before I go up the stand, get some fresh soft crabs. I made a new little net too to catch them. Hey, like that. Had this old bait net from Florida, wasn't long enough. Little piece of angle left over from the crab stand, just cut the handle off and extended it. And look at that. I even zip tied a little sponge on there, so when you're scooping crabs, you're also cleaning the bottom of the tank. I mean, genius. It looks like we got a couple. Another one. Look at this. Ooh, that one looks like a paper shell. It's a little spunky. Ooh, definitely a paper shell. I keep forgetting to get rubber bands to tag these things and let them go. These are all shells here, sheds. Look at that, take a swipe and you're cleaning the bottom of the tank too. Dual purpose. We're saving time and money over here. Innovation that excites. Another paper shell. Lost profit. We were having a bunch of males, now we got females. We got some beautiful mediums, some nice, really nice larges, or whales they call them, or super jumbos, a couple big ones. And these little guys, we call these pee-wees. These are awesome, actually. I think these taste the best. I love the little 4 or 5 inch soft crabs. They gotta be 4 inches to keep. These are like 5 inch soft crabs, something like that, 4 or 5. My little business model of kind of low overhead, actually it's really just out of necessity. I never like planned this business like this. It just kind of happened. I'm trying to use the most out of what I have. So the advantage is that it's relatively low overhead, because I don't even have electricity at my yard. There's bare bones. I mean, everything is temporary. Everything is simple. But the disadvantage of that is that every time we leave and come back, we have to reset up the entire thing. Everything needs taken with us, everything needs tore down, everything needs cleaned up, everything needs reset up every day we go there. Pretty labor intensive, but that's where all the help comes in, and hopefully one of these days I'll have a place where I can just lock stuff up. But for now, it's what works. We sold quite a few crabs today, actually. I was relieved. We actually had a humongous rush this morning, really early, and we sold a lot more crabs than I was expecting, which
just awesome. We still have some left for tomorrow. Should be an easy load to move by tomorrow. Might do a little special on the corns. We can move that. Looking good overall. Good start to the weekend. Well, it's Sunday. I rolled the dice a little bit and I got a hold of a couple more crabs from a couple local guys, which is a big risk because the weather is not ideal for selling crabs. It's very humid and possible thunderstorms. Not sure why I did that, but I'm just rolling the dice this year and we're just gonna try to go big and deal with the consequences. We're actually going over to CJ's house right now. Find him over on FV Miss Paula on YouTube to get a bunch of soft crabs because I have a lot of demand, not a lot of soft crabs of my own. He has frozen ones, but that's gonna be just fine. People are liking those just as good. Oh yes, CJ's house. Oh wow, look, he's done some nice work to the place. That's nice. It's better than the shed that was falling in half, I guess. Here's where the magic happens. Here's CJ's shedding operation. Right in here, gotta find the light somewhere. There we go. So this is CJ's shedding operation. Boy, he ain't got much going on here, does he? This is really what I'd like to have in my house. This is really a nice setup. This way, he's here at the house. He can pull out any of the crabs that shed when they shed. I don't trust CJ's carpentry skills, but I don't have much of a choice. Look at that thing. That is cool. So this is a mitten crab. This is not a native crab whatsoever. This is crazy. I cannot actually believe he caught one of these. And it's not all over the news because this is in a Chinese crab that he caught in a crab pot here in the bay. Wow, look at that. It's called a Chinese mitten crab. That should be all over the news. That's wild. What they caught maybe one or two of those before in the bay? Pretty insane. Weird little critter, huh? There's really only been about one other one caught in the bay. Probably came here in the ballast of a ship from overseas and got pumped out. And they call it a mitten crab because the one claw is kind of furry. Super weird, and that's insane. That is not like a blue crab. That's crazy. CJ's also got this crab, this hockey puck crab. No arms, no legs, and is alive. Been living for a while. And look, she's even starting to grow new little legs. Crabs are like Deadpool. If they lose a limb, they'll keep living. Pretty wild. Oh, there he is. Look at this shirtless hillbilly. What are you showing off your new? But dang, look at you, dude. Holy cow. You went from being an old grandpa to looking like a able-bodied, middle-aged man.
Able-bodied, middle-aged man. I like
look at that. Wow. You might be able to kick my ass now. Hey, there's a little snow on the roof, but there's still a fire in the furnace, ain't it? Huh?
I'm gonna tell you what, if you post this, you're gonna have a hard time. This is gold here for you. I just thought you were better than that.
I ain't better. Ain't nothing's below me. Come on now, you should know that. Even tying the bags up for me. I did. That is crazy, man. I can't believe that's like not on the news or something.
I know. I'm just not the guy. I need to give it to you. Why don't you take it?
Put it in my crab pot.
Put it in the news.
Boy, and you thought I was sketchy, man. Where do you think I learned it from? That is some minty work. Soft crab setup if I ever seen it.
Hope you sell them all.
Thanks for the soft crabs. We'll see you later. Get to work. Today, we're running a bit of a skeleton crew. This Sunday, we have me, Lindsay, Kaya, and Cam. Everybody else did not want to work today or didn't show up or whatever. So it is what it is. We're gonna make it work. We've been practicing for this day. I think we got it under control. It may actually work out better with a few less people. Really, this is ideally the amount of people that you would want working here, I think. So we're gonna see how it goes. If we can make it work, then we can train other people to make it work. That's right, we got Kaya, we got Lindsay, we got Cam. We're gonna make it work. What's left of the t-shirts and soft crabs from Captain CJ, corn, lots of crabs. It is very humid today too. Probably the most humid day we've had so far this year. We got the air moving, even though the air is thick. I feel like you could drown if you take a breath too deep here, but hey, it's good for keeping crabs alive and it keeps corn better. So I don't mind it. Opening up. Sundays, the rush always comes later for some reason. I think people are just sleeping in on Sundays. It's almost never an 11 o'clock rush. It's always a 12:30 rush. See you later. Thank you. So I got a local customer that he makes crabs a little different. And he brought some for me to try. some kind of Mexican dish. I guess there's tomatoes and garlic and all kinds of stuff in here. So he brought me a crab to try. Looks pretty good.
Can I take a picture of the hat when you sign it?
Yeah.
Luke, what are you doing?
I'm making CJ's hats sellable. These things are unsellable. Who's buying a Limp Biscuit red hat, bro, these days? I gotta sign it to make it worth something.
So I'd only buy it if he's gonna sign it. Sorry, CJ.
So after we're done selling crabs for the weekend, every Sunday we gotta bring the trailer down, take everything out of it, clean the entire trailer, scrub it top to bottom to keep it fresh for the week because we don't need it stinking. So the work never stops. Once we get this done, then we got to go get ready to go crabbing again tomorrow. I got to go pick up bait, fuel, and come up with a plan for the week, get people on the schedule to work, and a million other things. So after we get the trailer all cleaned out, we got to reload all the crabs that we had left over, which is not very many usually. All the crabs that we have left over that don't sell on a Sunday are going to go to Jimmy's Famous Seafood, and they're going to get steamed, packed, and then shipped out for all the crab orders, the shipping crab orders for this week. So nothing here goes to waste, and everything else that doesn't sell is gonna get broken down into crab halves, steamed, vacuum sealed, cleaned, and frozen. And then you can order those as well, shipped anywhere in the country, and we can have those all year. So this is a system that we put together so that nothing goes to waste. So it allows me to be able to sell as much as I possibly can all weekend, and then sell early in the week crabs so they're not dying in the fridge. They get shipped out to you guys. You can find the link for ordering crabs shipped anywhere in the country in the description there. I'll leave it there for you. Vacuum sealed, frozen, on our way to you.
Let's see you give it a toss. There you go, you got it. All right. You ain't no chef.
No, I ain't no chef, that's for sure. So we solved some problems, but not others by the end of this week. We got the crabs sold, check. That was pretty much the only problem we solved. But what we didn't do is solve the dirty crab pot problem. And since we were not able to go Friday and we are not going to be able to go tomorrow because it's been blowing like 30-mile-an-hour winds, all the work that I did earlier in the week to swap pots out is totally in vain because all those pots now are going to be completely haired over and dirty, and I cannot get ahead of it. It is a bit of a desperate time, and it may call for drastic measures. This week, upcoming, I'm going to have to come up with some real solutions to solve a really big problem. So stay tuned for that.